their destination. And we have the five youngsters, brilliant personalities who are involved in this activity. Our hero is the last man who is wearing the yellow t-shirt. He is our hero. Next slide. Our hero is moving towards his target slowly. And after some time, this youngster, brilliant fellow, is tired. So he remembers the Lord. Like when we are in trouble, when we need some help, we remember the Lord. We remember our Almighty. So this fellow also remembers the Lord. He says, Lord, it's too heavy. Please cut it down a little. So he's a very smart and brilliant fellow. So he cuts down the wooden log or that cross, and he feels he is smarter than the other people. Then after some time, once he crosses some more distance, he is quite comfortable now. And once again, he travels, he walks some more distance. This is the scene now. Then we can see again, he feels that he should cut down that cross little down so that he can carry it in a better way or comfortably. Comfortably, he can carry that. After some time, he cuts it down again, and then he is quite happy. He is carrying that cross happily, and he's a gentleman. So he also thanks or expresses gratitude towards the Lord. Lord, thank you so much. And now he is the leader in that group. He is leading that, and he is at the first position now. And just like the other smart people, he might be thinking that I'm very smart as compared to these people because I have cut down that wooden cross into some pieces, and I could make it little lighter, and that's why he was very much happy, and he might have appreciated himself. He might be proud of himself, but he wasn't knowing what is the scene ahead. So this was the scene ahead where he had to, or all the participants had to carry a valley, and he was shocked to come across that valley. So he says, "Oh," because he had never predicted this kind of scene ahead. Ahead means it was his future, and he could witness that all the participants they were using their wooden crosses to cross that valley, and this fellow was just watching all the participants. Isn't it very funny? It's very funny. And this cross was a bit short for him to cross the valley, so he was very much disappointed, and that's why he had no other option to stay there and lose the match, lose that race. So the message here is that you should work very hard, and you should not adapt the shortcuts in life, because shortcuts always cut short the life, and that's why we should stay away from the shortcuts. Some people feel that shortcuts are they are very smart, and that's why they feel that they can easily compete any participate in any competition, and sometimes they may be wrong. That's why these shortcuts are very dangerous, and that's why we should stay away from shortcuts. The better option for us will be to work hard so that we can excel anywhere, or we can win the competition. Actually, it should not be the competition, but we should not face any trouble. We should not face any trouble in any kind of assignment. That's why we need to be careful in all such things. Okay. Now we can start with the actual presentation. That is related to ICT. And just a minute, I'll share my presentation. Yeah, yeah, it's visible now. So the today's presentation entitled Use of ICT in Education. So this course, as I have read in the email communication, it is the sensitization of new education policy 2020. I hope being the teachers in all the universities and the institutes, all of you might have gone through the document which is related to NEP 2020, and you might have studied different characteristics or the features, prominent features of the new education policy. No doubt it is going to be very much useful for the holistic development of the learners. Holistic development means what is expected there? The all-round, multi-dimensional development of the students. Because it is necessary for the learners today to develop themselves, their attitude, their personalities by different means, or the development should be multifaceted, because we have a lot of or huge competition in this world. See, right from their first standard, we we means the parents. Parents are literally running after those children. They are looking for the international schools, world class schools. We are spending a few lakhs of rupees for their primary education. Once they complete their SSC, that is 10, maybe right from 8 standard, we are spending a few lakh rupees for them for different courses so that they can compete, they can participate in this rat race. I'll call this a rat race, all this competition. We have different examinations like NEET, CET in Maharashtra or many other states, or JEE mains and JEE advanced, and all these examinations. We are putting all our energy behind our children so that they can be a good doctor or a good engineer. They should get some admission in AIMS or maybe IITs, NITs. So many expectations are there from the parents, isn't it? I hope you agree with me. So, in this kind of a world, our students, maybe our awards or our students, they should not be only the students or academic experts. Apart from the academic experts, they should be the good human beings. We need to shape their personality by different means. That is why this new education policy, NEP 2020, would be definitely useful for us. And as far as the ICT is concerned, this is one of the new technologies, internet and communication technology. No doubt the new generation, we call it Z generation. No doubt they are very smart as compared to the earlier generation or our generation. Maybe sometimes some teachers who belong to the earlier generation may find it a bit difficult to cope up with them, their technological expertise. A very simple example for this would be the small child in your family. That child helps you when you have some problem with your mobile, Android mobile, or maybe Apple mobile, or some laptop or computer. When you face some problem with that device, first of all, you would ask that child, "My dear son, can you help me with this problem?" He says, "Oh, yes, it's very easy. It's very simple. I can do it." So within a few moments, he can solve that problem, and even guide you, or he may give you some hints also how to tackle with that. So this kind of a generation it is, and that's why we have to use the new technologies while delivering the instructions in front of these people. No doubt, this pandemic during the 2019 and 20, it has taught us so many things because we were using the technology, online instructions to run the show during those 1.5 years or maybe 2 years. But still, we have to see, or still there is some scope to develop this technology. Maybe some of you might be from computer, IT, or electronics background. You may have a better idea of ICT. So today we will discuss the use of this technology, internet and communication technology in the traditional classrooms. How can we blend this technology with the traditional classroom? In many government institutes, government colleges, universities, we may not have the ICT installed or all these equipment installed in their classrooms. That's why we have to, we may have some time, but this is the right time to acquire all these skills so that we will be prepared to use all those technologies in our classrooms. Let us start with the actual stuff, the actual presentation. First of all, let me explain in short what is mean by ICT and how exactly we have to use it. As earlier I told you, that is ICT, it is information and communication technology, where we use the IT resources like internet or all the information technology resources or IT resources. So this technology uses various sets of technological resources, or we can say technological tools, which have been used for communication or maybe for creating some new stuff, to store something, to store data, to store some information, retrieve some information, manage information, or share or disseminate the information among the learners or our audience. So we use this technology, ICT, or these resources, technological resources or tools for all these purposes. And with the help of this, that we have been sharing all our knowledge for communication or for sharing all this data. Even we are using the same technology to store, retrieve, and process all kind of data or information, which is stored at a central location. You may call it your data center. Many offices, universities might be having their data centers where they store their data, and they can also process that data. They can retrieve that data, and maybe they are working, they are completing all their routine activities with the help of this technology. As it is related to the information and communication, or this uses all the technological resources and tools, it consists of different electronic devices also, and the the interactive materials which are associated or which are human associated, because these materials enable the user to employ them for a wide range of teaching and learning processes apart from the personal use. Apart from the personal use. That's why this technology ICT, it plays a vital role in the today's world. If you think about the evolution of this technology, we need to explore, or we have to go back to somewhere maybe 100 or 125 years back, roughly 100 years, let us consider. That is the last century. Not exactly 100 years, but the last century. Where, see, even if we explore the evolution of the mobiles, these have developed very quickly during the last few years. If you recall the year when you started using your mobiles, it may be somewhere around 2002. Somewhere around 2002. Before 2002, there were some pages. Pages, usually people used those pages to pass on some message from one person to the other. No doubt before 2002, there might be the mobiles, but it was a very costly affair. Even those devices were very costly. Incoming calls were charged. And that's why it was a very costly affair. I still recall I started using the mobile, or for the first time, I got my mobile something around 2003, the year 2003. So after 2003, gradually it has become very common. First, we got the color display. Then, somewhere after 4 years, 5 years, we got the Android mobiles, or we call it now smartphones. And even smartphones have developed a lot today. So this was the way these mobiles developed. Similarly, if we think about this technology, ICT, we can see the emergence of the telecommunication, the technology of telecommunication. The moment this technology emerged, that originated the information and communication technology, or ICT. Even during those days, these landline telephones, these were also not very common. So that was a rare scene. That was a rare scene. If you recall, we usually shared some landline number of our neighbor during those days. In case of emergency, we we usually informed our relatives that you can call this number. This is the number of my neighbor. Or we had the STD booths, ISD booths during those days. Now we don't find any STD booth or anything like that. That yellow colored booth, I still remember. We had to stand in a queue there, and when our turn usually came, we can dial the number, we can talk there, and we have to pay certain amount on that bill. And after that, today we have been using these mobiles. Similarly, in case of the ICT, origin of ICT, earlier the technology which is related to telecommunication, that emerged first, and then we have, or we could develop all these technologies where we could disseminate the information or the knowledge. So somewhere in 19th century, we invented the telegraph first, and then we could have the other technologies. And because of this technology, ICT, we know, or we have realized that the education has become very much accessible, and it has become more interactive. The best example would be the today's session, or all these sessions you have been attending in this subject. Many of you might be from the other states, or the participants are from all the universities across the country. If you consider the distance between us, it may be a few thousand kilometers, but that doesn't matter. That distance doesn't matter today, just because of these technologies which have evolved so much. I'm sitting somewhere in Maharashtra, somewhere maybe in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Delhi, or southern part of India, northeast part of our country. But that doesn't matter. We can interact with each other. You have access to my presentations, and we can have the interactive discussions just because of these technologies. That is the best example. So somewhere in 19th century, we find the emergence of these technologies which are related to the communication or telecommunication. I hope everybody understands the meaning of the word telecommunication. Do you understand the meaning of the word telecommunication? Uh, I think the participants are not allowed to speak here. Am I right, ma'am? Okay, so I assume that you people understand the meaning of the word telecommunication. Tele means remote, which is at a long distance, and communication that is known to all of you. So this communication takes place at a longer distance, longer distance. So that's why I told you that at this moment in this era, the distance between us doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Then we have the second stage where uh, there was the rise of computers or computing technologies. It was somewhere around 1950s or approximately in the mid 20th century. Mid 20th century. If you're the engineers or if you have learned some courses, primary courses which are related to computer or the basic course in computer, you might have studied different generations in the generations of the computers. How exactly these computers evolved. Earlier, these computers were very large and very much expensive, and those were at very primary level. I'll explain how these were at primary level. But those were very large and expensive. Means this was not affordable for the common man to buy a computer. Just imagine the year 1995 or 98, 95 or 98. These computers were available during those days only in the computer institutes or maybe very large offices or the rich people. Rich people, they had these computers. But now you can see it very commonly. Everybody might be having a laptop or a personal computer today. So the second stage of the evolution of this technology is marked by the rise of computing in mid 20th century, where the computers were very large and expensive, and those were at a primary level. Why I'm saying primary level? Just remember or recall, during those days we had the DOS operating system, disk operating system we usually called it, and we had the bootable floppies those days, bootable disks. I hope while I'm speaking, you can visualize those CPUs and those floppy disks which were used as a bootable disk. Without that bootable disk, you are unable to boot your system. That DOS prompt usually appeared on your screen, and then you could start using that operating system. Later, the invention of Windows operating system was witnessed by our generation. And we know what are the features of Windows operating system because we are using Windows operating system, which has a very good GUI, graphical user interface, we call it. Graphical user interface. So we can perform most of the things by using the Windows operating system today at this stage. So that was the second stage where we had all these things. Then if you come down to the third stage of the evolution of these technologies, You can see that in the late 20th century, there was, or this era, late 20th century, witnessed the emergence of internet. Emergence of internet. Internet was not this very much common during those days. During the late 20th century, let us say in 1990s, from 1991 to let us say 2000. This was not very common. I recall we used the dial-up connections during those days. Dial-up connections. We had a telephone line. We have to connect that cable to the CPU, and then we have to dial the connection using the user ID and password, which was given by the companies like MTNL and BS. These were the only two service providers, internet service providers, ISPs during those days. And if we were lucky enough, we could get connect with the internet during those days. Otherwise, we have to try that again and again. We have to try that again and again. So that was the late 20th century where we witnessed the origin of World Wide Web or WWW, which allowed us sharing the information across the networks. We started using Hotmail during those days. That was the earliest, I think, search engine. Hotmail. Then we started using Yahoo also, and the other things you might be able to recall while I'm speaking in front of you. Then this technology during the third stage witnessed, or it promoted, it led to the creation of different industries or different business models or different social networks, e-commerce, online marketing, so on. All these things developed later on. And now in the year 2024, to what extent we have been using these technologies right now, or by sitting anywhere you can perform anything. Your action, or you might be using this technology positively, or you can say constructively or destructively also, because people are using these technologies in both the ways, constructively and destructively also. Every day we come across some news or some financial fraud where we come to know that some fellow has withdrawn a few lakh rupees from someone's savings account or bank account. So these people have been using the technology destructively, and right now we are using this technology constructively because we are sharing our knowledge, we are interacting with each other. The e-commerce, online marketing, we have been using it. We have some e-commerce websites like Amazon, we have IndiaMart, we have Flipkart, so on. There are many. So we can order anything we need. We can just sit at our home and we can order that. And because you are very much familiar with all these things, that's why I won't talk much about it. So I just want to say that in the third stage of the evolution of this technology, we witnessed all these things. It may be the different industries, different business models, social networks, e-commerce, online marketing, so on. There are so many things. Because of all these things, the world has become very closer for us, all of us. That was the third stage. Then we witnessed the fourth stage in the development of this technology. Just fourth stage. In the fourth stage, we witnessed the development or the rise of mobile computing. That was in the early 21st century. early 21st century. As I already shared with you that earlier we had those bar phones, very small phones, which were not the having the Android and iOS systems. Those were very simple phones used just to talk. That's all. Then we witnessed the invention of smartphones and tablets, which have become very common now. And these developments, these inventions allowed us the greater mobility and flexibility for the people. These things allowed us a lot of flexibility for all of us. And it also provided a very good access to information, all kind of information. And even we can communicate with anybody, anytime, anywhere, at any time. This is the main advantage. See, right now you can watch a live cricket match which is being played at Brisbane in Australia or anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, we can watch the live cricket match using your mobile. You can go for video calls. Even if you allow access to your screen to someone else, he can use your computer, your laptop, he can control your laptop also. Many times you might have done this with the company representatives who access your screen, they access your system to provide you the proper service. So, to this extent, we have developed this technology in the fourth stage. In the fourth stage. Then we have the next stage, which is known as the fifth stage, where we have witnessed the emergence of artificial intelligence. Now, AI, we usually call it AI. Artificial intelligence, it is under, you can say, development. It is still developing. It's not fully developed. So we can say that it is underway. AI is underway. And that is why the different governing bodies like AICTE, in especially the technical education or the professional education, it has promoted the education in artificial intelligence. And that's why we know that in many institutes, universities, engineering institutes, we have the courses on AI or data structure. These courses have been introduced by these governing bodies because they want to have skilled manpower in the next few years, which can do a lot of research in the area of artificial intelligence. Automation was also a part of it. In many industries, we have the automation. Most of those things are automated there, but it's not fully automated. They have done, especially the countries like Japan and Korea. They are pioneers in this area. So, with the help of this AI or artificial intelligence, we know that we can perform different tasks. The tasks which require only typically the intelligence, human intelligence. And we have different examples of AI. We have been using it in today's world. You have your Google, what do you call that? I'm unable to recall the name of the Google Assistant. Google Assistant. We have ChatGPT, or we have many other names we use at different platforms, but all those are based on the artificial intelligence. Those are based on the artificial intelligence. Some of you might have started using ChatGPT also. That ChatGPT can be used to learn certain things. As initially I told you, these technologies can be used constructively as well as destructively. One should take care that the AI or ChatGPT should not affect our creativity. Unfortunately, it is seen that this AI is affecting the human creativity because this generation, smart generation, wants everything ready-made. So they just type whatever they need. Suppose they need some letter or they need some essay on some topic. So they just type that essay on because with Bharat, essay on India as a developing nation or developed nation. So that ChatGPT provides you the essay, the complete essay. But once you remember that it is not, or it has some limitations as compared to your brain, human brain, it has some limitations. So we should not forget that because human brain is always superior to all these technologies because human brain has developed all these technologies. One cannot deny this fact. One cannot deny this fact. That's why we should believe in ourselves instead of relying, depending upon all these technologies. No doubt, we have to use these technologies creatively. Creatively. So, by using these technologies, we have developed the visual perception. We have biometric attendance at our institutes, offices, colleges. Even we are doing a lot of research in speech recognition, translation, or maybe decision making, automation, so on. Even certain things can be translated. Nowadays, we can translate the things by using machines. We call it machine translation. Or there are many emerging areas in the in the field of computer and information technology, which are a lot of research is going on in all these areas. So in these areas, all of us have to work. We have to contribute so that we can do a lot of research, and the misuse of these technologies can be prohibited. See, we have developed this technology means we should be able to prohibit the misuse of all these technologies. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. But we have to do that. All of us have to do that. Or those experts, IT experts, have to find out some technology where no one should be able to misuse this technology. Like earlier, I told you that there are some fraudsters who can loot your bank accounts also. So that misuse of technology should be stopped somewhere so that we can comfortably use technology. Well, what is the reason behind this? See, there are still some people who say that I won't use internet banking, I won't use credit card, I won't use all these new technologies because they are worried about such financial frauds. Even the people who belong to this generation, they are also very cautious, very careful. They are afraid of all such frauds. And that's why they say that, no, I don't want to use this technology. See, using credit card is very simple nowadays, but people don't want. No, if my credit card will be misused by some fraudster, I'll lose a lot of money. They are of this opinion. Some of us are still using the cards and internet banking, but we take due care while using these cards and internet banking. So if it is used properly, definitely these technologies will be a boon for us. This will be a boon for us. So what I want to say here is the artificial intelligence evolved in the fifth stage. We are undergoing the fifth stage, and this technology, or if you consider this technology, a lot of research is going on in artificial intelligence. The moment you clap, your light will be switched off. You can operate your lights, all the devices in your house remotely. You may be anywhere. You can just operate all those devices remotely. Is it not artificial intelligence? So, this way we have developed this technology in the fifth stage. Then, as far as ICT and education is concerned, no doubt it has also a very close relationship: information communication technology, or ICT, and education. Because we can say that simply it has revolutionized, or it has transformed the traditional teaching methods that we witnessed during 2019 to 2020 during the pandemic. We not only conducted the classes during those 2 years using these technologies, but we also conducted the convocations, degree awarding ceremonies, convocations. Everybody was present virtually there, and we could design some animations where Honorable Chancellor Sir was handing over some degree to some student. So that was also presented during those convocations. Those were virtual convocations, because during those days we were not we were not allowed to come together because of pandemic. So in all these days, we have developed this technology, and there was a revolution. Simply, there was a revolution in the field of education, and this field is transformed. And this has transformed the traditional classrooms or the teaching methods, you can say. So this has played a major role in the enhancement of the learning experience. Why? I'll explain it with a very simple example. See, if your classroom has access to ICT, uh, the exchange of information or teaching learning process will be very much effective there. Why? I'll explain. That if you have studied different methodologies or pedagogies, you might be knowing that the role of visualization in teaching learning process is very important. So the teacher should deliver the instructions in such a manner that all the learners should be able to visualize the things. The simplest example would be your history lecture. Your history lecture. The moment your teacher was teaching you some history topic from history, let us say it is history of Marathas, you can say history of Shivaji Maharaj, or yeah, you can consider that example. So the moment he was teaching you about Shivaji Maharaj, then the battle which was played in Pawankind and all other battles, or the history which was related to Shahistar Khan and Abdul Khan. So the moment he was teaching you all those things, I think most of you might have visualized all those incidents in front of you, just like you are watching some movie there. Pawankind, the Battle of Pawankind. You might have visualized that path. Abdul Khan, the way Shivaji Maharaj made Abdul Khan at the bottom of, at the foothills of, let us say, Pratapgarh. Right? So at that time, we had to visualize ourselves because we did not have that screen and LCDs, displays, nothing was there. But now, if you have seen the pre-primary classrooms or primary classrooms, the classrooms of your children, you might have seen that there are different objects hanging everywhere in your classroom, everywhere in your classroom. Why? The same reason, visualization. It is the same reason. When the teacher is teaching the kids or the children 24 alphabet A to Z, people should be able to see, yes, this is the apple, A for apple. This is red colored apple. This is the shape of the apple. They should not imagine it virtually. They should be able to visualize those things. If it is B for bus, a wooden model or plastic model of that bus will be ready there. So all these objects which represent A to Z would be hanging everywhere in the classroom. That is just for visualization. And that task is being performed these days by ICT, Information Communication Technology. And that's why we can say that it has played a pivotal role in the enhancement of the teaching learning experience. As well as this education has become more accessible and interactive with the use of ICT. Because now, see, I have seen during the pandemic, when I made many learners, many students, I asked them, how did you complete your studies for ICT, sorry, JE and NEET? So they told that, sir, we attended online class sessions on YouTube, which were free of cost. And some people, they had bought some online packages of different institutes. So is it not wonderful? They were sitting at their residence and they were experiencing the feel of the classroom as if some teacher is teaching them in the classroom. That was a virtual classroom, no doubt, but that doesn't affected the teaching learning process thanks to information and communication technology or ICT. Just because of that, this education has become more accessible and interactive, as if they were sitting in the classroom. They were sitting in the classroom. They were sitting in the classroom. That is why we can say that it has played a very important role for all of us. Just a minute. The next important aspect here we can talk about is the yeah different applications which are related to information communication technology. These are also evolved during this process. We have been using these applications because of so many technological advancements, and this way we have progressed a lot just because of ICT. In simple words, we can I can add some more things to this ICT. So we can say that it is a kind of technology that works with two things, that is information and communication. Information and communication. And we share information with the help of communication. And this form of communication, that may be in any form. It may be visual or audio form, or audio visual both, or it may be in the form of text. It may be in the form of text, or in the form of some signs, colors, or pictures. It may be in any form. That's why we use this technology in different areas, different sectors, for different purposes. If you think about the these sectors, you can find it in the the areas like education or banking or agriculture, healthcare, communication, e-commerce. So many things are there where we have been using this technology. We can discuss these technologies in detail. We'll discuss the use of all these technologies in detail. Then I'll explain all those things one by one. See, here we have, yes, first of all, the distance education. This has become a very common thing nowadays, and we have got admission in different institutes, different colleges across the country, and we are receiving some instructions from the teachers there by different means. With the help of these technologies, we use or we can communicate, or the communication between the instructor and the learner takes place there. Even this technology is used for the educational administration. We use different softwares which are prepared by some people for the educational administration. Means with the help of that, we can store and process all the data of our students, all the data of our students. We can process it, we can store it for a long time, and we can retrieve it as and when it is required, as and when it is required. We have different instructional systems. We have different library software that is also automated. Library system is now automated. We can use this technology for research. So for different purposes, we have been using this technology nowadays. Even I'll cite or I'll discuss all these areas in detail. If you think about the different applications of ICT or this technology, you can find some access to e-learning systems or e-libraries are there. Now we have access to many e-libraries or access to online courses. We have to just stay at home. We have to pay the fees of that online course. That's all. We can learn that. We can appear for the examination also. The platforms like MOOCs and NPTEL, what exactly they are doing? They are doing the same thing. We can attend their sessions in online mode. If you want to appear for the examination, pay their fees, take the examination at their exam centers, and get certified. That's all. So with the help of this, we can have access to online courses also. Then easily we are exposed to information, different types of information. We can access different types of information. Just you need to type a few words there in Google. It can give you all the information. Distance learning, all of us know. Then the most important thing here is the effectiveness of this technology. It is very much effective. Because right now, if I want to show you some animation, if I want to show you some video, I can directly share it here. I need not tell you, just imagine that scene from so and so occasion or so and so place. I can directly share it on my screen. So, because of this, we can use, we can deliver the instructions, we can share any learning material quickly and effectively. Quickly and effectively. So that is the multimedia approach. We have been using that multimedia approach here. Then we can have the storage, different types of data storage. It may be the storage, data storage of your employees, your students, your clients, or anything. With the help of this, we are able to do it. We can have easy access to the huge source of information, just because of ICT. Earlier, before this technology emerged, before the emergence of internet, we didn't have access to all these technologies or this kind of data. We have to read the books during those days, we have to read the newspapers during those days, or we have to listen to the news editions on the TV screens. But today, we have to just go to Google, type the question or the thing you need. That's all. You get the answer quickly. Within a few moments, you get that answer. So this has become so much easy. And last but not the least, which is very important, that is children with disabilities. We know a lot of technologies have emerged to teach or they deliver instructions to the Divyang children or disabled children. Recently, I had visited a school which was meant for the children with disabilities. That was in Palghar district of Maharashtra. It's a neighboring district of Thane, and I had a stay of 3 days there. Wonderful development that fellow has done for the children with disability. So those children could recite, or sorry, they could enact different songs. The way they interacted, that was simply wonderful. Even our vice chancellor also visited that school for a day, and all of us appreciated the efforts which were taken by the management of that school. And see, ICT has a major role in such kind of ventures. Definitely. Without ICT, we cannot imagine all these things. So even this can be useful for the children with disabilities because we need to bring these children into the mainstream. They should not feel that we are different from others. They should feel that we are no less or we are just like the normal people. We are just like the other people. We are not physically disabled or challenged people. That's why this technology can play a very important role in all these areas. In all these areas, then we can also uh, talk about the different usages of this technology in different areas. In different areas. Yeah, Rafi sir, shall we take a break? Yeah. Yeah. Do we have anybody from the training center? Just a minute. I think, okay, okay. Let us continue. We'll continue. Okay. Yeah. So as I was telling you that this technology can be useful in different areas like banking, education, so on. So let us talk about it one by one. As far as education is concerned, since you are the teachers in different institutes, you might be knowing that in your institute you have the library and the way you are managing the library resources in your institute. During the older days, if you recall, we had to use the registers to make the entry of all your books and the borrowings, everything that was noted in those registers. But nowadays, what is the scene? Just when you want to borrow a book, they get the accession number, they type that accession number and the borrower's name. The data will be stored there in their computer. They need not go for any kind of paperwork. No doubt. They have to take some backup. They have to take some backup of that data. They do it because they have their own data centers. They have their own data centers. From these data centers, they can, first of all, they can store their data. And when it is required, they can retrieve that data. They can process that data and they can retrieve that data. So all these things are possible at their data centers. So digital libraries, that is the result of ICT. Distance learning, we have some famous universities in our country, like IGNO, that is Indira Gandhi National Open University, and in Maharashtra we have Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University. How exactly these people are running their shows? They are running their shows with the help of ICT. They have developed a lot of good technologies at their places. And just because of that, they can conduct some sessions also between the students and their resource persons. And they have been using this technology. Then in the field of education, if you want to disseminate, if you want to deliver the instructions, first of all, we have to create the learning resources. And by creating those learning resources, we can share all those resources with the learners. And this is possible effectively. The best example would be all these online platforms like MOOCs and NPTEL and other platforms, and even YouTube. Even YouTube. You have many speakers, or rather than calling them speakers, I would say those are the resource persons, because they share some stuff with us and we can enhance our knowledge with the help of those stations. So we can enhance or improve the teaching learning experience in the field of education because of this technology. If you feel that some information, some session on ICT, or let us say some specialized topic, we'll talk about some specialized topic. It is, if it is something like soft skills development, let us say. So when you want to have some session on soft skill development, personality development, communication technologies, so on, or natural language processing, all these technologies. Once you listen to one resource person at YouTube, you feel or you're not satisfied with that much knowledge, you can go to some other channel, you can switch to some other speaker, and you can have some more knowledge till the thirst for your knowledge is satisfied, it is fulfilled. आप लोगों की वो ज्ञान लेने की, जो ज्ञान लेने की आपकी जो प्यास है, वो जब तक खत्म नहीं होती है तब तक you can listen to many resource persons, many people. How is that possible? Just because of ICT. Then in the field of education, we have one more milestone, that is evaluation, or we call it assessment also. Earlier, we had the CAP centers, central assessment systems, where all the teachers usually gathered at a place, and they had to assess the answer papers. They have to check the answer papers, evaluate the answer papers there with pen and paper. This was the traditional method. But now, what is the scene? Many universities, they have developed the online evaluation systems, where the people, those teachers, can sit at their institute and they can evaluate those papers on screen, their computer screen. They can use their computer screen, where their IP address is also recorded there. The IP address of their computer system means they cannot access that particular application from any computer or from anywhere. That will be restricted to only a few IP addresses, so that this system should not be misused. Otherwise, you may say, sir, this system can be misused. Definitely, you're right. So in order to avoid the misuse of this system, some precautions will be taken by the vendor as well as those universities or their ICT departments also. What I want to say here, that evaluation is also done online. You need not go to that assessment center physically. And last, but very important, we can have a better collaboration of the students with the teachers or their resource persons with the help of this technology or internet communication technology. So in the field of education, these are a few usages of this technology. Then we can talk about the the use of ICT at homes. At homes. Yeah, do you want to say something, sir? Okay. So at homes, we have, I'll just discuss only the common things uh, where we use ICT. The payment of different bills. Nowadays, it has become very common to pay the bills electronically. You can just use your mobile to pay your electricity bill, to pay your let us say gas bill or any other bill. You can credit card bill also. With one click on your mobile, you can pay all your bills. Second important thing is money management. See, during these days, a lot of awareness is created among the people about the financial management. People have started talking about portfolio management, financial management, so on, so many things. No doubt it's a good sign for the people. So, how exactly these people, these things are being done by the people? Don't they use ICT in all these things? They are using ICT. Your mobile contains different applications, mobile applications for money management or financial management. With the help of that, you can the investment you have done, everything, even for your मला पंकजनी नाही दिली जस्ट अ मिनिट नाही दिली मला आहे वाटतं त्यात बघ इकडच्या खिशात बघ बघ so with the help of all these technologies अजून बघ ना अजून बघ uh, the best example would be our banking apps. Banking apps. घराची नाहीये. Yes, it आहे. बघ हो ठीक चालेल. So, banking app, you can consider any bank or its app. We can transfer, we can go for any banking transaction quickly with the help of all these banking apps. So, this has become very simple. Earlier, 20 years ago, we had to go to physically at the bank counter where we have to fill in all the slips, withdrawal slip or check, and then we have to get the money. This was the affair, time consuming affair during those days. Even if you want to open your new account, you can sit at your home, you will fill in all the information at their website, and just you have to convey them the some number, some code will be required. You have to convey that to the bank. Convey that to the bank. That's all. Your account will be open. This has become so much easy. Otherwise, or some representative from the bank will come to you. He'll collect all the documents and he'll hand over you the kit. So it has become this much simple because of all these things. Another where we are spending much time in the area of entertainment with music or video or many other things. For entertainment, we are dependent upon technology, the use of technology. It may be used this one YouTube, or it may be different applications you have been using. Even your TV has become smart now. Smart TV, we call it smart TV. We have access to all those applications, mobile applications in your TV. We can access all those mobile applications in your TV. Even you can cast your screen also, mobile screen. So there are so many developments in this area. So ICT is also largely used in your home or at your homes. So this has transformed everything, we can say, the field of education, or it may be your home. It has transformed. Simply, it has transformed. Yes, we can say this is a kind of revolution. एक तरह की क्रांति है ये in this world, because we had never imagined that these things will develop in such a manner. This is beyond our imagination. Beyond our imagination. Your CCTV cameras, beyond our imagination. AI, artificial intelligence, has transformed all these things. If you install that CCTV camera, two-way camera, you can have audio, access to audio and video by using your two-way CCTV camera there. You know, because you might be using such CCTV cameras, or you have seen it in e-commerce websites also. So you may be well aware of all these facts. Okay? So this is, we call it home security devices. Home security devices. So there are so many home security devices today, and we are freely using all these devices in this era. Then we can talk about the use of ICT in offices. Okay. The participants, do you need a break, or shall I continue? Participants, if you don't want any break, I can continue. If you need some break, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we can take a pause here. What do you think, participants? I think you are not allowed to unmute yourself. Do we have any representative from the Teachers Training Center, the university? I think your chat is also disabled. Are you allowed to chat, type some message in the chat? Just a minute, I need to check it. Okay, okay. So Girish Katkar sir has told to continue. So I'll assume that this is the opinion of everybody from our station, our class. So with your kind permission, I'll continue this. How long we suppose? It will be till 2 o'clock. Giriji, it will be till 2 o'clock. Maybe almost an hour from now. Okay, okay. So I'll assume all of you are prepared to continue till continue for. Okay, okay. Rajni, madam, I'll continue. No issue. Okay, so I was talking about the use of ICT in various fields. Various fields. The next area we can think about it is offices. So I'll explain different. Okay, Umesh sir, I got the message. I'll continue. Yeah. Offices. We have different offices now. For different purposes, in these offices, we have been using this technology, ICT, nowadays. You may say, what are the purposes for which we have been using these this technology? This technology. Just a minute. Are you able to see the presentation? I think. Yeah. Is it visible to you? The presentation is visible to you? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, for in offices, we have been using this technology for different purposes, not only for typing and printing the things, but we are using this technology in our offices for communicating certain things at the distant locations, at the distant locations. No doubt, by using the artificial intelligence, now we have started, many of you might have started creating different types of documents, maybe memos, letters, or other documents, your reports. We prepare all kinds of reports with the help of all these technologies, various technological resources. If you look at your payroll system, that is also the result of, it is also the result of these ICT developments. Because the way your payrolls are managed at your office, account section, finance section, whatever you call, that is being done in a fantastic manner. There are almost no bugs at your end. There are almost no bugs. At the end of the financial year, they also provide you the statements, annual statement, income statement. With the help of that, you can go for the tax calculation. You can plan all your finance. Once you calculate all those things, your income tax department is also prepared for that. They do have the proper management of all your financial resources. All your financial resources. Banks can generate your income statement, annual income statement, your interest statement, and your interest statement also. So, see, all these things are being done in a fantastic manner by all these offices, their experts. Then another factor we can think about at the offices, they are also conducting different meetings in virtual mode, online mode. All this has been effectively done by these people. Then we have the use of this technology in the area of security and defense. Security and defense. Yeah. Where we have developed different technologies, different techniques, like especially drone technology. Though it is the emerging technology, because our experts, our scientists, they are exploring or they are doing a lot of research in drone technology, whether it can be used effectively. Yeah. Right now, it can be used in almost all the fields, but it is not used effectively in almost all the fields. So, still, there is a lot of research going on in the drone technology. It can be utilized for defense, it can be utilized for agriculture, it can be utilized for vigilance, so on. There are many areas where we can use it. Just a minute, a moment. Then we have the radar system. Even in radar system, we can use this ICT. Or when we think about the security system, we have the metal detectors and different types of scanners. We have, yeah. using. Yeah. Metal detectors and scanners. Then you can have the best example of RFID devices. We have many research organizations which have been using the RFID devices, or there are also the infrared devices. Different types of detectors or scanners are also there. These devices can search for different things or different, you may say, equipment under the debris. If there is some, you can say, landslide or some building collapses at some location, we can use these techniques effectively to look for some dead bodies also. Because unfortunately, we couldn't develop that technology, but a lot of research is going on in the area of RFID, in the IITs and other reputed institutes, the other institutes also. So with the help of this technology, we can overcome some of the challenges that we could not overcome till this moment. Similarly, we can use ICT to manage the use of drone. It is also helpful for us in the assembly of weapons and forensic science. See, forensic sciences, let us talk about the forensic sciences. The forensic sciences have evolved or developed in such a way that yes, these criminals, they cannot imagine that they can be pressed out or trapped by the investigating agencies. Even the educated people like you or me may not be aware of the technologies these investigating agencies are using, or these forensic experts, they are using all these technologies. These are also beyond our imagination. They can track the criminals, they can investigate different matters by using all these resources in a very smart manner. In a very smart manner. And next, that is perhaps all of you might be knowing that with the help of these technologies, the people can track, the experts can track and tap all of our faults. I cite the simple example here, your GPS tracking system. Your mobile uses Google Maps. We can just enter our location and source and destination. Your mobile guides you throughout your journey. But at the same time, all your locations, all your movements are tracked by Google. These are tracked by Google. If you, at the end of the month, if you look for, if you explore Google Maps to see all your locations during the month, it can give you, perhaps you may forget that you had visited so and so place, but Google won't forget it. Google will have all that record wherever you have visited with your mobile device, with your mobile device. Perfect. And it can give you the perfect scene, perfect map of all your movements. And now Google is ready to help the government, Indian government, to provide the exact location of a particular person from the exact building, beyond that, the exact flat number also. Exact flat number also. But the government has denied. Government had stopped Google. No. We are not going to do anything that affects the privacy of the citizens or the people. So the government hasn't allowed Google for that yet. And Let us hope that they won't allow. So this is the way these people are, or this people are using the technology in different areas. Then we have another area where we can see that ICT is used widely. The planning, in the area of administration or management, we see there is the proper planning of human resources and the raw material. Human resources and raw material. They have all the record. The employer or that particular office or company has all the record of their resources, manpower, human resources, physical resources, raw material, everything. And with the help of that, they can go for the planning for certain things for a stipulated time, maybe for a quarter, for a, you may say, a period of 6 months or a year, whatever it may be. They can go for a proper planning. If they can plan the things properly, they can forecast the things in an effective manner. They can forecast, they can foresee the things in an effective manner. And this ICT uses or plays a major role in that for that purpose, for planning of all these things in a better way, so that they'll be prepared for everything. Similarly, they can manage the data demand and supply in the industry everywhere. They can use these things properly. Okay? So this is the another use of ICT or this technology. Then we can talk about the agriculture. In the area of agriculture, this technology is being used. This technology is being used effectively. Agriculture, as I referred just now, I referred to drone technology. We have many agriculture universities in our country, or maybe in the state of Maharashtra. So these agriculture universities, they have collaborated with the technological universities in the country or the state, because they want to develop that drone technology in such a manner that it will be useful for the farmer. It will be useful for the farmer, and which can save the efforts, physical efforts taken by the farmer. This drone technology or these drones can be used for different purposes. No doubt, right now it may be costly. It is a costly affair. But please recall, using mobile was also a costly affair before 20 or 25 years. But now it has become very common. So we hope drone, though it is a costly affair in the year 2024, maybe within next 5 or 10 years, it will be affordable for all the farmers, so that they can use for the purpose of agriculture. Maybe to spray something, or for vigilance, or to watch the things, or to spray some pesticides, everything, for many things. I think the agriculture experts might be knowing it in a better way. In which areas definitely we can use all these drones or the drone technology. So even our university has a collaboration with one of the agriculture universities in Maharashtra, and we are involved in that research. Some of our professors, they are involved in that research. Then we have the banking system. Banking system. See, banking system has been transformed drastically by the ICT. By the ICT. If you recall, usually I think before 20 years. Just let us go back to the year 2002 or 4, where we have to, if we had to withdraw the money from that from a bank during the year 2002 or 4, usually we had to hand over that withdrawal slip to the cashier. That cashier usually uh, fill in all your information, or he had to look at the ledger. His ledger. Ledger means that was a big register, and he had to check whether your account has that much balance. Then he has to update your balance there. So this was the system during those days. So wasn't it a time-consuming affair? Definitely, it was a time-consuming affair during those days. But now you can withdraw money from any branch of that particular bank quickly. It is possible quickly because they would just type your bank account. They would just type your bank account there, and they'll get everything, all your information on that screen, and quickly your transaction can be completed. Your transaction can be completed quickly. If you're not at your home branch, if you're not at your home branch, even though they can assist you, bank officials can assist you. Why? Because they are also using ICT. They have their data centers. All that data is stored, or even now we have the use of cloud also. With the help of cloud, we can store a lot of data that provides you various limits. Cloud can provide you various limits where you can store all your data to that cloud. But I think most of these banking institutions, financial institutions, they are using their own data centers because after all, there is a concern of safety. That's why they are using these data centers. So there you can transfer the money anywhere in the country, not only the country, but in the world, from any bank to the other, any bank. Not necessarily that it should be from SBI to SBI. It can be from SBI to any other private bank, or any private bank to any public sector bank. Anywhere you can transfer the money. This is possible with the help of ICT. Or you can perform any kind of transaction in banks. Then another area where you can use ICT, that is healthcare and medicine. Healthcare and medicine. Sometimes I feel it very funny when it comes to healthcare and medicine, because we people have used this ICT to such an extent that the doctors had to display a message in their clinics or their hospitals. I think many of you might be able to recall what is that line. Doctor knows better than Google. Doctor knows the medicines. I don't exact that line. Don't remember that line exactly, but it says that your doctor knows the things, or doctor knows medical science better than Google, because there are some people like our hero. Initially, we interacted with some hero who was over smart or smart. So there are some people who would just type in Google, what is the medicine for so and so disease. So your Google gives you so many links, or a lot of information is provided by Google. And we go to the pharmacist and we ask him to give so and so medicine. Of course, this is not allowed. Self-medication, we call it self-medication, which is not allowed. But still we go for it. So that is the misuse of the technology. But if you think about the use of this technology in healthcare or hospitals, Even they are using AI. They are using robots to perform different surgeries. They are using different monitoring devices in their ICUs or their operation theaters. They are using different instruments, medical instruments, to monitor the progress of different patients. Because, nowadays we have many critical diseases, and people are also very much aware of all these diseases. And a lot of research is going on in the area of healthcare or medical science. That's why this ICT has been helping the medical science to a larger extent, to the larger extent. And because of that, we are able to get any kind of treatment in the area of medical science, like organ transplant. Organ transplant. A few years ago, we had not imagined that any organ can be, we can go for any organ transplant. But now it is possible. So that kind of research has been done. Then the data management of different patients. See, this is very important. This is a very crucial area. The history of that patient can be managed for a long time. They use ICT for that. When you go to that hospital for the second time, third time, or fifth time, that receptionist asks you your patient ID, your patient ID or patient code, which is unique. So that receptionist or that operator would just type your code, and all the history will be in front of that lady, and she can get a history sheet, and she'll hand over that sheet to you, and she'll ask to wait. So that will give you a rough picture of your history, medical history. After some time, when you go to that doctor, the doctor would also open your history on his screen. He'll go through it. He'll go for the medical examination. He may interact with you for some time. What is your experience? What are the troubles? How do you feel? So on. He'll get all that from you, and he'll put his remarks on that paper, and he'll also enter it in the system, and that will be updated in the system of that hospital. So when you go to that hospital, when you visit that hospital for the next time, all the things will be updated. Everything will be updated there. So this is also a kind of, you can say, data management. And these people are using the data management in an effective manner with the help of ICT, with the help of ICT. With the help of ICT, we can do it. Then how exactly we are using ICT in the social media? Social media. Let us talk about that. See, nowadays, social media, all of us use different social applications like WhatsApp, Facebook, X, so on. There are many. And while using these applications, we come across different advertisement, commercials or advertisements. When you enter a specific location, you come across some specific advertisement, some specific advertisement. Just now I told you, your Google is tracing all your locations. So these WhatsApp and other websites, they are having such facilities They can send a specific message to some people the moment they enter that particular location, the premises. Maybe the premises with the radius of, let us say, 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers. It may be the advertisement of some hotel or restaurant. It may be the advertisement of some this one construction site, or it may be the advertisement of some lodge. Because people need all these things. They are looking for all such things. So immediately, the moment you enter that premises or that radius, that advertisement or that message will be fired to your mobile number. You get that. It may or may not be useful for you. It's a different thing. But you get that. You receive that message. So this is also a kind of the use of information and communication technology. These people are using these technologies also in the area of mobile communication. That's why this has become this marketing has become very easy for all these people. That is another use of ICT. Next is politics and governance. Politics and governance. Now the National Assembly elections are going on everywhere in the country. So many of these contestants, they might have sent the SMS or different types of messages or communications to your mobile for asking you to vote for them. They might have assured you in different forms that we'll do this and that, so on. Or at least you might have received one message that is, vote for Mr. XYZ. Vote for Mr. XYZ. So that was done by that particular politician who is contesting the election, or might be done by his political party, the party he belongs to. Even you might have received similar messages from the government or the Election Commission of India, where the government had requested you to cast your vote because it is very important. Because the government had the target to increase the percentage of voting in a country like India, where people are not strongly willing to contest their vote. People are not strongly willing to contest their vote. And that's why it remained restricted to around 65% till today. That's why the government is using ICT. All these political parties are using ICT, all these technologies to interact with the voters. And no doubt this would be useful to some extent. So this way we can use ICT in the area of politics and governance. And apart from that, we have the TV commercials and all other ways these politicians and government has communicated with us for different needs. It may be something like the Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat, or highlighting different schemes of the government throughout the 5 years. So it may be anything related to the schemes. Even the private organizations, they are also interacting with us in the similar manner. Where we can say that these industries, different types of industries are there. These are perfectly exploiting this technology for their own benefits or their use. All these industries, maybe e-commerce, education industry, finance, agriculture, or any other trade you can consider. They have been using all these things in an effective manner. The next is the scientific domain. This is very important, I feel. Scientific domain. When we talk about the scientific domain, it is very much useful for us. Scientific domain, We know that we have different research organizations in the country where these people are doing a lot of research. Even they have to store a lot of data because they have to access that data as and when it is required. And their role would be very important because they are contributing to almost all the industries in the country or in the world. And the use of ICT by the scientific domain or these research organizations has it is playing a major role. It is playing a major role. Apart from that, we have been also using ICT in the transport industry. Transport industry. See, in transport industry, especially the tracking systems are introduced now. Even our government buses. In Maharashtra state, we have MSRTC. In other states, they have their own road transport, state transport agencies. So the government buses and the private buses, all of these buses, transport vehicles have their own tracking systems. Why? Because that government or private organization should be able to track their bus or their vehicle, whether it is running on time or not, whether it will be delayed, so that they can update the next station. Even our railway, Indian Railways is also using it. And that is why by using specific apps, we can track the location of the train, location of the train. If you are traveling from Mumbai to Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, we can anytime, anywhere, we can track the location of a specific train. Let us say if it is Janashatabdi Express, we can track the location of Janashatabdi. Accordingly, we can start for the station also. If we find that it is running late, we can start late from our residence. So this is a wonderful transformation, or you can say, I'll call it a revolution, Kranti, in the area, all these areas. Even in the transport sector, we can get the traffic alerts also. Traffic alerts also. The simplest example, you might have experienced it, Google Maps. That is the best example. If you are traveling from Pune to Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, you are using your Google Maps, Google will provide you alert about the traffic. It will give you the suggestion that there is a traffic congestion at so and so location. So shall I suggest you some other option? If you say yes, it will give you some other option. Otherwise, it will say, okay. If you want to follow the road with traffic congestion, what can Google say? It will say, okay, go ahead. So such alerts are given to you. These alerts are triggered to you when you are traveling using the applications like Google Map. So this is very much helpful for us. So these are some of the areas where we can use ICT or such technologies. Quickly, I'll tell you some more things about the importance of ICT in education. The most important thing in this is the collaborative learning. Collaborative learning, because all of the things we have already discussed, that is access to resources, enhancement in teaching learning process, improved communication, convenience, so on, we have discussed. So when we talk about collaborative learning, nowadays it has become somewhat common or important. This is a need of the time. And because of the use of this technology, it has not remained the traditional classroom. What was the scene in the traditional classroom? In the traditional classroom, the teacher usually visited the class, delivered the lecture for 40 minutes or maybe 60 minutes, and left the class. That was the scene. But in today's classroom, because of the use of technology, it has become interactive classroom. This traditional classroom has been transformed into interactive classroom where both of the people, both of the sides, that is teacher and learner, resource person and the audience can collaborate. They can come together, and that has made the teaching learning more effective. It has made this teaching learning more effective. That's why we can say that it is a very good achievement, very important achievement in the area of education. Then apart from that, we have talked about e-learning or online learning, where the presence of ICT has contributed a lot. It has contributed a lot. Next point to talk about ICT is that it brings inclusion. What does it mean exactly? What does it mean exactly? Here, the ICT in the field of education has benefited the learners, where the students in the classroom can learn from the material which is given to them. The simple example would be there are some QR codes at the end of some books, learning material. There is some additional learning material. You need to just scan it, you'll get additional learning material once you scan that. The reputed publishers can provide you such facilities. Yeah. So they can provide you all such facilities, and they can also provide you the, you can say, access to some other tools, ICT tools or ICT resources which are available at their websites. At their websites. So this is also another important point when we talk about ICT in education. Another important point, we can use ICT to promote high order thinking skills among the people, among the learners. High order thinking skills. Because this is a very fast generation. These youngsters, they can learn the things quickly, grab the things quickly. They need not spend much time for learning. And that's why we can make use of ICT in education for explaining or justifying the things or producing the solutions to different problems, exercises, as per the demand from the learners. As per the demand from the learners, we can make use of ICT. Apart from that, we can provide them the specialized learning, teaching. If they need some specific information, we can go for that with the help of ICT. We can go for ICT. We can use all these communication technologies. Then the most important thing here is the ICT motivates the learners. It is one of the great motivations for the learners, because the children are fascinated because of the use of ICT. As earlier I told you that in the pre-primary classrooms we have different displays, different pictures are displayed in those classrooms. That's why that will be something fascinating for the learners. And this ICT also improves the engagement of the learners and retention of the knowledge for a longer time. Yes, because of the use of ICT, the students are engaged in the session, that teaching learning session in a better manner, and they can retain that knowledge, that data for a longer time. Because technology always provides, makes the things more fascinating, more interesting, and it makes that session more enjoyable. It makes that session more enjoyable, and that is why there is increased engagement of the learners in that session. Increased engagement, and that makes them, that helps them retain the knowledge more effectively. Because see, this point can be evaluated psychologically also. How our brain records each and everything, voluntarily or involuntarily. It records everything. It records something in the form of data, something in the form of numbers, something in the form of characters, and something in the form of images also. If we use this technology, then our brain can record the data in all these forms. And it can also retain that data, recall that data when it is required, when we want to recall it and process it. It can be utilized. A simple example I can cite. When even you might have practiced it, I have practiced. You might have practiced it. When we do not recall a particular spelling properly, we have some confusion about a particular spelling, whether there is double C or double S or the sequence of E and I, whether it is EI or IE, something like this. So I have seen many students or many youngsters, sorry, people like us also. What do? They write that spelling on a paper, maybe at the end of their notebook, and they they write both those spellings. Huh? They write both those spellings. They compare both the spellings, and what do they compare there exactly? They compare the images. Huh? They don't compare the spellings there. They compare those images because, as earlier I told you, both those images are recorded in their brain. That's why they compare both these images. Based on that comparison, they would predict whether the first image is correct or the second image is correct. Because they know that that image is recorded by their brain earlier when they had come across it. So this is the use of ICT where our brain records the things, it retains, stores there, and it can also recall when we need to recall it. So that is another fantastic use of ICT. See, this happens unknowingly. Huh? We don't know that certain images are recorded in our mind. We don't know. But our brain does it unknowingly, what we call involuntarily. It is that. So that is a very good use of this technology. Then ICT integration is a key part of national curriculum, not in the other countries, but in our countries also. That's why initially I tried to connect two dots like NEP 2020 and ICT. NEP 2020 and ICT. I connected these two dots, if you recall. That's why in the development of our national curriculum, because all the universities now, they are trying to develop their curriculum as per the guidelines in NEP 2020. And this ICT, the role of ICT would also be useful there in the proper implementation of NEP in the country, in our country. Then another important aspect is the knowledge economy. I think some of you might be knowing this concept of knowledge economy. Knowledge economy is something where the knowledge would be considered vital. Or knowledge means ability to create something, produce something, or utilization of information, or creating something by using utilization of the present information, available information. So all these things are known to knowledge economy. So since we practice all these things, we have been practicing all these things. That's why for people, creative people like us, it will be useful for us. These technologies would be useful for us. So we have to go for its use. Apart from that, you might be aware of the fact that now many Indian universities have collaborated with the foreign universities, and as a part of that, we can attend their sessions also by sitting here in your own university or institute or college. These things can be helpful for you. It can open, or it has already opened, you can say. It has opened the doors to the learners beyond the classrooms. And that is why people, some youngsters, they are learning, they are trying to learn or acquire the knowledge apart from their curriculum, That's why sometimes I feel when our students say that, sir, so and so question is out of syllabus, I feel very bad, because if they are playing the role of a learner, then there should be nothing out of syllabus. They should study, at least the students from UG level, they should study everything associated or related to their syllabus. At least they should have sufficient knowledge of all those points. Then only they'll be the real learners. Otherwise, they'll be trying to mug up something just for the sake of some marks to get pass grade. That's all. They are not the real learners. They are not the real learners. So that's why I think they need to change their mentality. They need to change their psychology, because with the help of ICT, these doors are open for them beyond the classrooms or the framed curriculum. They need to come out of that frame. These are some of the examples of ICT integration in education. Quickly, I'll go through it. Maybe most of you have been using all these platforms. We have many online learning platforms which are used in the area of education. We have been using VR in education, that is virtual reality, in the area of education. Even gamification in the classrooms is also one of the best examples. It may be gamification in any form, or in certain type of classrooms, there may be the role play, like for literature and humanities classrooms, role play may be there, or for sciences and technology, you can use gamification in your classrooms. Flipped classrooms, that is already old concept, you can say, in which is used in the blended classrooms. We should, that also plays a very important role. Even I have a thesis on this in this area, blended learning modules. E-learning platforms. These e-learning classrooms have become very common now. We have different platforms like Swayam or NPTEL or Diksha. So there are many platforms where the students are learning their full-time courses in the semesters, because many universities, they have permitted them to complete certain courses. Those may be elective, or they may not have the faculty members for that specialized course. So in that case, instead of thinking about such courses, that university has permitted them to attend such courses on these platforms, online platforms. They can attend these courses and they can appear for the examination, they get the certification and submit it to the university. That's all. Means if I'm interested in a particular course, but if my university doesn't offer that course, or if my college doesn't have the faculty with that specialization, then why should I stop there? My institute can ask me, or I can get the permission from my institute to get that course in online mode. That's all. Means my need will be fulfilled. My need will be fulfilled. And if I have that much potential, then why should I stop? That's why this ICT integration in education has a very important role. Apart from that, you have also virtual labs. We used these virtual labs, science and technology professors. We have used these virtual labs during the pandemic. How did you conduct your practicals? We could conduct the practicals with the help of these virtual labs. Different institutes used these virtual labs during the pandemic. So this way, this integration of ICT in the area of education has been playing a very important role. It is playing a very important role. Another important aspect when we talk about education and ICT, it is also useful when it comes to learning different languages. See, we are living in a global village now. So if we restrict ourselves to only Marathi, Hindi, English, being Indians, I don't think it will be sufficient for us. We need to learn some ancient languages from India, specifically the languages like Sanskrit, and we need to learn some foreign languages also. You may say, sir, why Sanskrit? Because there is a lot of knowledge in Sanskrit language. There are many books or scriptures which are written in Sanskrit. You might have heard or you might be knowing that many foreign scholars, they are coming to our country, India, for learning, exploring the resources. They also come here to learn Sanskrit. They complete their PhDs also, doctoral degrees also, and they explore all our knowledge which is available in the form of Sanskrit, in Sanskrit language. And they utilize that knowledge in their own country. That's why even we have to learn Sanskrit. Apart from that, we have to learn some other foreign languages also. And these online platforms will be very much useful for us when it comes to the foreign language, because we have many multinational companies in our country. They need some translators also. So some of our students may be preferred, they may be given preference there because he knows Korean or German or French or some other foreign language. So he or she may be given preference in that case. That's why we have developed the language laboratories. These language laboratories, and if these are blended with some applications, there are some applications developed by some professionals or the experts. If we could collaborate these things, we can prepare our students, we can teach them all these languages, not only English, but some languages like Sanskrit and some foreign languages, which are trending or which have more demand in the world. So we can teach them all such languages. Means we are creating a generation, we are preparing this generation to face this, you may say, competition in the outer world. This will be useful from the point of view of their employment or placement after they complete their formal education. After they complete their formal education. Okay. So these are some of the advantages of this technology, information communication technology. When I was discussing all these points, I know the smart brains which are listening to me might have processed the other side also, the darker side of this technology. So, no doubt, anything has two sides. Anything has two sides. One is positive, the other is negative. One is constructive, the other is destructive. We experience it in our day to day life because this technology has hijacked all our homes. If I'm not wrong, it has literally hijacked our homes. That's why this technology can be used for a constructive purpose. Similarly, it can be used for destructive purpose. You can use technology for learning certain things, or you can use technology for merely wastage of time. Because that is a very common picture nowadays. When we all of the family members are sitting together for lunch or dinner, when we go for hoteling, when we go to some restaurant, we are sitting together. 4 or 6 members in the family, they are sitting together. But the problem is that they are not interacting with each other. They are interacting with their own mobiles. Everybody is doing tick 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 tick. So that is, you may say, an advantage or disadvantage of this technology. So people are divided. Though they are sitting together, they are divided. They are divided just because of this digital technology. They are divided because of digital technology. That is one. Yeah, right. This is the first thing. Then the teachers are not properly trained to take care of or use ICT. That may be another disadvantage. So first of all, the government, the universities, they have to train their teachers so that they can utilize ICT in a proper way or effectively, you can say, effectively. Then there is a concern that is related to the insecurity of data. This is really a concern. Somewhere the government has to provide some norms for the security of the data because our data is not secure. That's why some that should be a policy decision by the administrators or by the government. Then people are worried about different frauds. Like initially, I told you when we use credit card and online this one banking, the people are worried about these fraudsters. I think the preventive measures can be taken by the users. Everything, every time, we should not blame that bank or the investigating agencies or the government. If we take proper precaution, because they have proper security, they have proper security at their side. For example, if you consider bank has proper security. The only thing is that we fall victim to some easy money, and that is why we are looted by those fraudsters. Bank has no role there. We are responsible for that. The user is responsible for that. But such possibilities are there. Frauds can take place there. Another threat is there, that is unemployment. To some extent, it is true. But if you develop yourself or yourselves in a proper way, you need not worry about unemployment. You need not worry about unemployment. If you are different from others, any company, any organization can invite you with a red carpet. With a red carpet. So no need to worry about unemployment. Virus threat, this is a concern. Proper precautions can be taken. Good antivirus can be considered. Firewalls can be implemented, used, so that we can overcome this problem also. See, each and every problem can have a solution. Just we need to explore. We need to explore what is the solution for that. It is just like problem is just like a lock. the way each and every lock has a key. Key may not be in physical form, but in the form of your, that may be the biometric key, that may be the key in the form of a number, code, password, or something like that. Similarly, each and every problem must have or would have, or it is there, a solution. Just we need to explore it. So virus threat is there, no doubt, and cost of setting up these ICT gadgets. Yeah, this is a concern. But nowadays, I think the government and these organizations, they are spending a lot for education. If you go to the private colleges, I think those colleges are like 3-star facilities. They have the 3-star facilities. They are getting the money from the students in the form of fees. So they should spend for it, for setting up the ICT gadgets. They should spend that much money. This is my personal view. So solutions for these problems are to promote digital literacy. The government and the institutes, not the government, but I feel the institutes, they should promote the they should promote the digital literacy among the people. Some attempts should be done to provide professional development for the teachers by conducting different workshops, faculty development programs. Through these means, some attempts should be done by these organizations or the colleges or institutions. And another solution is to develop efficient security systems. Yeah, this can be done by the different agencies, and they are doing it. But for each and every trouble, they try to frame a solution, and they are trying their best. Okay? So these are the disadvantages of ICT and some of the solutions for these disadvantages. So this is the manner we can blend, we can use ICT or information communication technology in the field of education. In the field of education, and we can make the exchange of instructions or teaching learning process more effective. We can make it more effective so that we can reach the learners in an effective manner. And if we could do this, definitely the future of this generation would be very bright with the help of effective teaching learning process. Okay? So this is all about the today's session, what I wanted to share with you. So I would like to stop here. If we have any representative from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I would like to I would like them to intervene the session. I'll stop sharing my presentation here. So, yeah, Dr. Rafe, are you there? If there is anything to discuss from the participants' side, I'll be very fortunate. I'll be happy to know something from your side. If you are not able to unmute you can type the things in your chat box where we can interact with each other. The people have entered only their roll numbers. I think they were already informed about it. Okay. Anything you would like to ask or share? Yeah. Anybody? No. Okay. Just a minute. I'll just call Dr. Rafe and so that we can conclude the session. Just a minute. Please hold on. Do we have anybody from that university, host university? Because my call is not received. No, I want to know whether we have anybody from this university so that he can inform Dr. Rafe. What is your routine process? Yeah, nobody is there, Girish sir. But do they rejoin us to conclude the session, or we have to conclude it at our own? What exactly we have to do? You know that, participants? Yes, anybody who knows it? Is it your first session in this course? Yeah, okay, okay. The session is used to end by the resource person. Okay, Bhanushri, ma'am. Okay, so shall I end the session? Acha, they don't rejoin. Okay, okay, no problem. So I'll end the session as you have stated. Okay, okay. Since they haven't received the call also, so okay. Thank you once again, all the participants, for joining this session. And on behalf of myself as well as this Teachers Training Center and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I express my heartfelt thanks to all of you for your patience and for listening to me with patience. Thank you once again. Yeah, thank you, Girish sir. On behalf of all the participants, you have thanked. Thank you very much. So I'll end this meeting so that you can also leave the session, and later on I'll call the coordinator, Dr. Rafik. Thank you once again, and hope to see you once again. Thank you, and I wish you all the best for your career. Dr. Rafik, shall I conclude the session? Yeah, oh, okay. I leave the meeting. I have already informed them. Concluded it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.